All right.
I had to reseal it.
What?
I had to reseal it.
Reseal.
Like we had to do that with that toilet.
What?
We had to do it with that toilet. Remember that?
Okay. Hey, my mic's not working.
Huh?
Are you starting it up? Oh my god. Don't tell me my fucking uncle decides to call me now.
What?
Yep, that's my goddamn uncle.
What about it? You have to talk to him?
No, it's fine.
What do you mean your mic's not working? You can't hear yourself? 'Cause I
don't hear anything.
I hear yourself.
I don't hear you. I don't hear myself.
It's probably your headset. It's probably your headset. Let me see here. Try now.
Hello. Nope.
That thing was acting weird last week when I was trying to listen with it. Anything different? Anything different?
No.
See if it's connected all the way up in the
Hello?
ear thing. Up in the ear thing here.
Hello? Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay, cool.
Oh shit. I'm back.
Can you hear yourself good? So now can we start?
Yep.
All right. No. I've had it going for like 15 minutes.
Oh. Fuck.
What a loser.
Welcome to the podcast. We're gonna try to. Well,
Did you
I don't even know where to start. I don't even want to start. This is Hideaway Gaming Podcast. Holy shit! This fucking week. We were supposed to try to do this yesterday, so we can get it out yesterday, so you folks can have something to listen to on a Friday morning. But we're gonna do our best to shoot it out this morning. So Commander we were literally gonna talk about D&D because it's pre-release weekend. So we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. But goddamn, Wizards of the Coast had fucked them shit up. And then, well, it's not really the Wizards of the Coast. It's that committee.
The rules committee?
Yeah. I feel like there's some soft-ass bitches in there, and that's why this ban happened. But let's go details. So earlier this week, we had a ban on Hullbreacher for Commander, which I think like 60%. This one guy posted on his Twitter feed, and it was like 80. He had like 58% of the people agreed with the ban, and then you had the other percent that didn't. But I mean, that's
actually a good. I thought it'd be way more.
No, but he put it on his Twitter, and he says it was like 30-something% didn't think it should have got banned, and there was like 8% of people that didn't care.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys ever, if you played Commander and you haven't pretty much went against a Hullbreacher combo, you're pretty much lucked out because it's not fun.
Like at the Fairies puzzle box and windfalls and stuff.
It's just, they play any kind of wheel effect. A wheel effect is typically, most of them, I think they're all sorcery speed.
It's a wheelie bad combo.
I fucking hate you. All right. So typically a wheel effect is it will make all players dump their hand or shuffle their hand into the library, and they will draw X cards. Hullbreacher is a 3 mana casting cost in blue. 1 blue, 2 colorless. Just a creature. It's a 3/2, but it's got flash. And it says if an opponent will draw one or more cards.
If they would draw any card besides the first card they draw on their draw step.
Yep. You make a treasure counter or treasure token instead. So pretty much they'll play the wheel, make you dump your hand. You won't draw any cards. He'll draw cards, and he'll have all these treasure tokens. You can only imagine how much. Say if everyone is supposed to draw 7 cards, and he had that bad boy out. He would get 21 if it on a 4-player game. He'll get 21 treasure tokens, and he'll have a full hand, which typically is at the most point of that game. he should win the game, which is okay, I guess. I mean, if you're gonna win the game, you're gonna win the game that turn because you just literally destroyed everybody's hand and you have 21 mana. You should typically win. I mean, you're drawing 7 cards, right? You would think so.
Well, yeah, you have a fresh start while everyone's just sitting there with their dick in their hand.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, the combo is good. I don't know. I personally don't feel. I think it's just a win into it. Like a situation is like, okay, they won, which is kind of one of those things in the Magic world, and I think this is what the biggest debate. It sucks to be on the other end, but it's still a win. If that makes any sense. Like, we've played enough games to where someone's kind of had a foothold on the win. The problem, I think, with most people that had with this thing is that they have the foothold, but the person's not, like, trying to win. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, anytime I've seen it.
I feel like that's what we've seen here.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So
I just think how oppressive it was is they just thought, because that article and what you posted with the command quarters, not command zone, I thought was great. I mean, it's like,
yeah,
I personally hate more the fact that it's like your opponents can't get back into the game versus one person is taken away with the game, which is what that article was saying. It's like, not only is it defensive, but it's more offensive because it's doing wheels. And my problem is you're getting 3 people out of the game that can't come back at all.
That's true. So here's the thing is, at that point as a player, are you obligated to stay in the game?
You're not.
Like if you see that, this is the thing is too that I don't understand for the ban is that if someone to do that, just scoop. Just like,
well, that's funny. That's a whole different topic in itself, and
but it's interaction. It's not because their debate on banning in it is the interaction in the game and how that affects everyone's play style, and it's saying it's a heavy with the wheel, so everyone's playing it, but in reality, not everybody's playing. We only have one butthole in this store that plays it.
Here's
Max.
Well, he played it religiously. Here's my take on it. I didn't mean to talk about this too. The reason I said that's interesting you say that because that's everyone has this problem when it's like and he's actually we were playing a game right at this one of these 2 tables and he played Hullbreacher and I scooped and he goes, if you're just gonna scoop because I play Hullbreacher, I'm gonna scoop too. And I said, why? I said, my scooping has nothing to do with you, Hullbreacher. He's like, no. I was like, well, actually, kind of. I was like, this other kid wheeled, gave me a shit hand. I'm already out of this game. I'm just doing this to speed this up because Justin just got here and he wants to play. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay.
But my problem with that is he specifically said, I play cards to make people scoop. Okay. So you got what you got. And also, too, you're playing a card that I just don't want to play with. I have the right to scoop. If you're going to get upset because of how I'm feeling and how I scoop.
No one should. You're right. No one should have to sit through it.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm advocating.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
different.
The what I'm trying to say is that their argument was saying that was such a top tier synergy, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think one of the things that the guy, and I've said this in a group, they're in the Grand Rapids group, and I said this before I watched this video. I was like, I said, to be honest, man, there's not a lot of people that play that combo around here. And if you don't like that combo, just move to another table. Play with other people. Most of the time, my argument is like, if someone knows, if you play enough with certain people, right? Mm-hmm. You have a circle of friends that you come and play the game with. Yeah. And that's how it is. It's a community within your group play area. So you know that guy's deck. It's like, okay, if he shows you the commander, and it's okay to say this, it's like, hey, what are you going to be playing? Oh, he's going to play this? I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
Just because, not because I want to combat the deck, it's just I want to have a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea of you doing that, there's nothing sinister about it. I think people don't do that enough, and we preached about this way too much in this podcast. And I think it still doesn't get through people's fucking head. And I just like talk about what you guys want to play. Yeah. Every time I sit down, I was like, okay, recently, I was like, hey, I'll say it in the store. I'm like, who wants to play a toxic game? I've been saying that the last few weeks.
Degenerate, yeah.
A degenerate game. And then people will line up.
Yeah.
But in anyone that got in that group and that how degenerate that game got, no one complained. Mm-hmm. Not a single complaint.
Yeah.
And then people that didn't want to play it did not play.
Yeah.
That's really healthy.
Yeah, I don't understand why people think that's such a bad thing to discuss. And it's like lately when we and you'll agree to this, the first 2 years being open here, so like people would just put their commander face down and then flip up, and everyone will bitch like, I picked the wrong deck for that and stuff like that, which sucks. And now we've been playing open and like asking what type of games, and I think that's better because it's like, oh well, I'm going to play this deck just because it's better in this situation at this table,
and that's true,
and that's perfectly
and they should
healthy.
always be that.
Yeah, I don't like when people are like, oh, you're changing because I'm playing this deck. It's because I know
why would it matter. It doesn't matter. And that's actually really good. That's really healthy for him. And the person that should never raise their eyebrow for someone, like if someone's switching their deck out, and you shouldn't be like, why are you changing the deck up? Oh, because I want to play a game, and then this is the only way I can do something. And we know how your deck is. So and we've all played with each other where, I mean, unless somebody makes a brand new deck and you're like, oh shit, okay, I don't know how this, but most commanders are themed.
Yeah.
And you typically can kind of figure what they're going to try to do.
Yeah. And that's where some people are like, well, I don't like, kind of a little side thing with that. So they say it's themed, but then they put like, if every deck they have is blue-black, but they say it's themed, right? There's a blue-black at least in there, and they're like, Hullbreacher, Demonic Consultation. And it's just like in every blue-black deck. Or not Hullbreacher, Thassa's Oracle.
Oh, yeah.
And I just kind of decide where it's like, it's not too themed if you're going to put the same 2-3 win cons in every deck, and that's your go-to win con every time.
That's true. I mean,
I'm like 50-50.
I think, so here's the thing is about that. Well, I think that's okay. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just like people are just like, it's on theme. It does this. Well, I'm like, well, how does it win? Oh, the Hullbreacher or the fastest Oracle combo. I'm like, then that just means you're just waiting to get your fastest.
Oh, that's how their main win.
Yeah.
Oh, I put it in the flash deck just for a side thing.
That makes sense.
But the whole deck is just like we were playing that big ass game. I had a grip only strictly for tricks. Yeah. Like that's all. It was like, oh, you want to do that? Nope, I'm gonna flash this guy and divert it that way, or copy a spell or stuff like that. Because I had like the cup purse in my hand. I had the Nivian, that guy that when he comes into play, any target can be targeted to him.
Yeah. And
then I had something else, something to like to deflect something.
We'll see with mine. That's why I call it the sabotage decks, because you're sabotaging situations that you don't like until you're on top.
Yeah,
and then you just kind of try and win.
Yeah, there's some. I got that. I took that deck apart just to. Yeah, took it apart. Either way, so going back to the Hullbreacher combo, I think people that are not punk asses.
You don't answer my question?
No, I don't even know what you said. I blocked you the fuck out.
Wow.
I have a high talent to block people out. Like, I think my son picked that up.
Man, that's such a bad taste in my mouth.
All right. So going back to the Hullbreacher thing. So no, what I was trying to say is that no. So for my opinion, I think that card was not worth getting banned.
Absolutely not.
I don't think it's. Just when because if you look at the rest of the list, it's like fuck. Well, what I didn't like I didn't like why they try to compare that car Hullbreacher with that Levad, or what's his name? Leovold. They try to compare it to both of them. There's like, well, this is the reason why that got banned, and this is the reason why this has gotten banned.
Oh, well,
yeah. It's like Leovold could keep coming back.
He could be a commander.
Yeah. In Hullbreacher, you're just like, path?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Well, their thing is, one of the biggest annoyance that I hated about was like, well, my opponent's playing blue. He's got 3 mana. Should I not play anything on turn 3 because he's got 3 mana? And that's stupid. I was like, whoa. I was like, it's like, well, have you played the deck before? Here we go. There's another variance. If you play the deck, I was like, well, fuck it. Wait another turn. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you deliberately need something to get going, I was like, I need this 3rd drop really fucking bad. You know, I was like, I need to play this card because it's gonna advance me. I don't give a shit if he plays Hullbreacher. You know, because if he plays Hullbreacher, I'm still in the game with this card being played turn 3. Now, if you're playing CDH, then it doesn't fucking matter. Tap out. You should be running blue. I mean, it's really fucking hard to run blue, to not run blue in that, you know what I mean, in CDH. I mean, yeah, you can. There's plenty of other decks that you can, but they are combating that shit.
Well, I think that's a piss poor excuse.
It is, and that. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say is like you're just gonna have that excuse for every bad card that's turn 3. Fucking Rhystic Study, Aura Shards. I mean, you're just gonna fucking keep it up. Any other turn 3 good creature? I mean, you can like the argument is so broad that like, do I need to keep, like he said, do I need to keep a Path of Exile up for this Hullbreacher? No. It's a turn 3 Hullbreacher, and he can't wheel.
Well, because it's got flash, so he was thinking at the end of the last.
So he's talking about going to 4. It's still no. I mean,
yeah. So that it's not anything. So here's the ultimate thing of this whole situation, and I think this the only thing I disliked about the Hullbreacher combo. Let me just say this is that them doing all that and not winning, like immediately.
Just like
I'm not saying it's an instant satisfaction, you know, just to be instantly satisfied, but you're doing the wheel, and then you do another wheel, and then you do another wheel, and then you do another one, but then you just have nothing, and then you say go, and like, what the fuck, really? So, but I mean. But here's the thing. Here's that foothold of winning the game and not doing anything with it. That's my dilemma. That's the only problem I really had with Hullbreacher. I don't want to wait 5 fucking turns. You should have won this.
Well, that's all our opinions here, yeah. But like, I can only get it if like you just don't have it in your hand at that time. But you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, fucking 7 cards and 21
what I don't like is when people are like, well, I want to play my deck. Like, I've legitimately heard that excuse. I was like, yeah, well, so did we. So like, we're all just going to scoop and not give you the satisfaction to kind of spite you if you're going to give that as your excuse.
Yeah, but it's not even okay. So here's the thing is, I think that people care way too much about winning.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's like a number one. I know you.
It's fine to
maybe
care.
I just come from a different era. It's like I just enjoy the game.
Yeah, well,
I want to play the game. I'm like, oh fuck, this game is like this way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's fine to want to win, but you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's just like winning. I think it's the importance of winning and not learning. It's put above. You know
that's what I mean by being a dick about it. Like you're putting it way too much on a pedestal to try and reach it and think about the only thing.
But and that's why I think people got semi butthurt about this. It's like, oh, it's a slow grind, slow grind. I'm not winning. Oh shit, this game is too because here's the list. I was gonna send you a list of cards just like that I think that are worse than Hullbreacher.
Well, the fastest oracles too, right?
I don't think so. I think that's fine.
I'm gonna tell you, this is earlier when I was giving my take on this. This is also what I was thinking. But Thassa's Oracle's 2, right? It's 2 mana cost, right?
Yeah.
Demonic Consultation is 1.
1, yep.
Okay, so that's the same converted mana cost total.
Yep.
That wins the game. Hullbreacher does not win the game when it comes out.
Right. It doesn't.
And that's my biggest thing about that is like someone's like, Thassa's worse. Yes, Thassa's is worse, and that should be more on the ban list because it takes the same amount of mana. It's 2 cards, though. Don't get me wrong. They have to be in your hand. But how many fucking times have we seen that happen here?
But so here's the thing is, one of the biggest thing too, those cards like that should not be playing in casual.
No,
that's
they really
the problem. That's the biggest problem. And so I think that's what happened with Hullbreacher. Everyone knew the magnitude of the power. No one really played it that kind of combo style in.
They just play it typically as one shots, like as one shots.
Yeah, they like, oh, that guy's drawing a lot of cards. I'm just gonna play a Hullbreacher with no wheels.
Well, real quick, let me ask you so I get clarification. So, do you think that the Thassa and the Demonic Consultation should be played because it's more of like a CDH combo?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I think Hullbreacher is definitely better in competitive. And even if you look at some of the somebody arguing it's like, well, it's in the top competitive decks. I'm like, okay. But did you look at the rest of the list? I mean, I've watched plenty of enough CDH games on whatever. You can just YouTube them. A lot of them don't win that way. A lot of them win Thassa's Oracle.
Yeah.
And Thassa's Oracle in any of the packs. You know, any of those consultation packs. You know, stuff like that.
You have 2 open mulligans to try and get that combo in your like close to your opening hand.
Yeah. So most of the time when you see the Hullbreacher, I mean, again, you are playing competitive and you know these are going to be a very top tier powerful cards. So you should be in a different mindset. Now, casual play and someone brings them in them, I think that's on the fucking person that did that. Not on the card. It's not the card that did the bad stuff there or it is too strong. It's just the problem is like that guy brought that game to this situation.
Well, it's a joke I made. Was it last week when it was even before the Hullbreacher ban happened? But someone was complaining, and we were talking about how people will get up and just like leave. There's 1 or 2 people specifically, but they'll just get believe it. I'm like, it's just like the old-fashioned argument goes about guns. You know, people with guns don't kill people, but people with guns do. It's like people with decks. It's like the deck doesn't piss people off. The people with the deck piss people off.
Yeah, so, I mean, I could see that. But so what I was trying to say is that there's a ton of cards that are like that. But we don't see them a lot here, and that makes sense because it's just kind of like, oh man, that kind of pisses people off. That's too strong to be playing in this environment if you're just casually sitting down. And you want to play with some people just casually, right? You kind of ask them, and that's the biggest thing. You come down to it, because if I guarantee you, if let's just say the community of Magic decided to like all just wake up tomorrow and it's like, hey, I'm gonna be super polite and I'm gonna ask that person what kind of game I want to fucking play today, and if they were like, okay, well, yeah, we could play a little bit stronger power stuff, then expect stronger power decks and you'll have better reactions. And if you still think somehow you thought your deck is not as strong and then you get in a group of 4, I mean you're in a pot of 4 and they just trounced you, you might want to rethink your deck is if that strong. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where the problem comes too. It's like what's too strong, what's too casual and stuff like that, and everyone's opinion will always differ on that.
Yeah,
but the ultimate piece where you're just like at least asking, then no one should ever have a right to bitch about anything at any point.
So I think if that happened, I don't think Hullbreacher would ever got banned. And again, here we go. We got a ton of people that are in this committee, and one of the biggest things that Command Zone, if you watch the video, they said, where are they basing this ban on? Did they do research? Did they just find a bunch of tournaments that they were playing, like everybody's just playing that combo? But it was like, it isn't. No one's really playing that. I mean, if you, again, we'll go back to it. Thassa's Oracle, Demonic Consultation. Those are the big wins.
Well, I remember a little side piece too. You remember how they talked about like in that too, like Notion Thief costs one more, and it gives you draw versus treasure.
Yeah.
And that Narset just stops it.
Yeah.
So there's two things that I've read, heard, and think. So I think the card would. Well, first of all, let's agree that the card was poorly designed. It's terribly designed. It was pushed. It should not have been in blue. Like they say, like the smaller dude of the pair on the command zone, he said simply it just shouldn't have been blue. Like blue already has this, and blue is the primary wheel color. And I absolutely agree with that. I was like, I guarantee you, if this was in white, it wouldn't have gotten banned. My second thing is that it's the instead part, the replacement effect. If it just said like
or get,
or like just like
for each card,
they draw,
you get a.
So they get the draw, but you get the treasure. Mm-hmm. That's why, like with the conversation with Max, I was like, Smothering Tithe is not on the same oppressive level. It's more reliable because it's every draw, but it's not as oppressive. I'd still rather you wheel. I get all my cards, and you get all the treasure because I still have a fighting chance. I still have ammo. So, but the other thing I wanted to say too, with the card too is, fuck, I can't remember now. I was too much on that one part.
Oatmeal.
But I super don't agree with the banning. I think there's way worse cards that could have been banned, such as the fastest Oracle. Even though I don't think that should be banned, I don't think it should be. You just need to run an interaction. You need to learn the meta in your area a lot better. Such as here, we had one or two people really playing that combo. We have one or two people playing the fastest Oracle combo. They're known for playing it.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I took it out of that flash. I took the flash deck apart. I mean, yeah.
I mean, look at Justin. Justin says like. I think he even mentioned that he's got that combo in most of his decks that can run it, which is absolutely fine. It's a good like fall back and try and get this combo, which I think is completely fine. Mm-hmm. You know, I just think people get too upset with that, and I think you're right. If people just have more discussions, like a lot of people said in our group, like Josh and all of them said they just need to have discussions about what type of Magic they want to play. Yeah. And even if you have to, it may sound a little odd stuff and a little heavy, but talk about what's in people's decks. Oh, I run a Hullbreacher combo. It's like, okay, now I'm going to run this deck that has more interaction then.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought the card design was okay. That's my personal opinion. I get that it's got flash, and I get that it cripples you.
It's just that instead part. That's the part.
I get it, but it's the same time. Because
that's the thing I read is that
I don't know, man. It's I get what they're trying to do. I don't think the design is bad.
It was pushed.
I think it was. I guess.
What do they mean by push?
I mean, push to what though?
That you want it. That you want in every blue deck. Why would you not have that in every blue deck? That's what they mean by pushed.
What?
Every blue deck I had a Hullbreacher in it until people were getting mad, so I traded off all my Hullbreachers except for one. But that's what they mean by pushing bad card design.
Man, do you think it became a staple?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hullbreacher was like in 60-70% of decks on EDH Rec.
Okay.
And then did you see how much Notion Thief went up this week?
Oh, I don't know.
That's going to be a problem. It's getting bought out online. It went up $6.
Oh, up to $6?
No, it went up $6. It was
so
like
what is it, $10 or something?
It's like $8-9 card. It was a $2 card.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know, man. I think I think it'll sink out. I mean, that card's.
Well, I just don't think it's as bad. You need 2 colors for it.
Yeah.
It's 4 mana. You don't get treasure, so it can't get you to run away with the game. You just get a lot of draw.
Yeah. So that's fine. I think Notion Thief's okay.
Yeah.
4 mana is a little bit tougher.
Oh.
Again, this is my personal opinion, just because I don't get offended by things like that. I don't know, man. I think it's just really tough to ban cards. I just like what my biggest thing. So this super nerd, I don't know who he was. He said he made a comment in that group saying, "Good. I'm glad to see it that Wizard. This is a step to the right direction." He basically said that was the biggest thing. I'm like, And I responded like, yeah, right.
Jeez, good thing I wasn't in that group.
I was like, what direction is that?
Ban more cards? Is that what
I was like, are you looking for games to where you guys are every three turns, you guys are giving each other high fives and telling each other how cool you are?
Yeah.
And just play some soft app Magic. But the thing is, like, you have to fucking have those cards. Why would you not have those cards? I get that Hullbreacher, it became like a staple and it's just hard blue. But then you should look at other shit. Like, why is Hullbreacher such a, like, staple in blue? Was everybody just drawing too many fucking cards lately? Or why are we wheeling the fuck out? We made too many wheels?
I think people just saw the potential. They're just like, I can wheel and lock people out. Cool.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying there's just like how many wheels are being made? How many people are drawing so many cards? It has to do with a lot of the meta of the why commanders being built and how many decks are trying to like optimize their draws. So if Hullbreacher, say if there was a low number of like a lot, like less spells where people are not drawing so many cards all at once, because if that was minimized as a card selection where you don't have, Hullbreacher becomes shit. Like, I've seen a couple of people pull out a Hullbreacher because that one guy decided to draw like fucking 10 cards, but then it'd go to that players and they'd do nothing. Go back to him, do nothing. Go to me, and they just literally get a couple turns around, and you're like, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because now you can swing in at him. He's not going to fucking block because he thinks he's going to draw. He's getting more treasures, or he's going to do this, and then you're just a freeing, like, that's what I was telling that guy. I was like, just turn sideways to him. It's like, if there's anything else, what are the chances? Let's just think about that.
Wait. Are we getting to the realm of threat assessment now? Because I remember you told me that a few days ago that everyone should just turn sideways at that one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay.
We've had talks about that. We've had talks about that threat assessment, and it's like no one just learns about that shit.
Okay, calm down. I just told
No. I just think that's funny that you say that turn right thing, and I was thinking about this the other day when you said it's like no one even understands that too, and they just let themselves get angry. It's like, what do I do?
Because that fucking emblem went off on the other group. It was like there was only one person attacking, and the guy that got the emblem, the Narset emblem, because Zach was in the group, he's like, yeah, nobody was attacking it.
Yeah,
he said one dude attacked another person.
Why?
With like 2 or 3 dudes. I'm like, when the Narset was getting close, he's like, I don't know why he didn't attack it.
It was just
Zach.
He was like, that game was horseshit. I was like, well, how'd it go? He's like, well, no one really pressured him. I was like, that's your guys' fucking fault.
Yeah, I was like, man, because with the Narset ultimate, you kind of need 4 turns. Is it 2 turns?
No, it's 3 turns.
3 turns. 3 turns. Yeah. So if you're not doing shit in 3 turns,
like my eyes turn over there, and then if they ask me why you attacking me, I just laugh. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Everyone at this table should have eyes on you right now. And then when someone's like, swing 3 at you unblockable, not the Narset. No, I don't want to worry about it. Okay, you worry about that when they slap down a Deep Skull Skate, double it, and ult.
Yeah.
Well, what's the chances of that happening? I was like, oh, my sweet summer child, all the time.
Yeah, well, all the time. Either way, it's weird, man. Some people, I think they live in this world of like hypothetically, it's like, oh man, he's got a good setup. I think we should attack him. And then you start swinging, and so one guy's like, yeah, let's start attacking him. And they forget this motherfucker on the right that's actually going to go do some shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay. It's like one of those things. It's like, we're going to beat you down to your, like, almost dying. And then it's like, oh, wait. I think he's going to come back with a second. And they don't like, look at the cards. And then interaction, they're like, okay, I think he's actually pretty beat down pretty hard. And then they just like, and then they're forgetting this other guy's doing some, like, okay, if like 2 people have a really good stable and they start attacking a 3rd person, and then that 4th person just kind of sitting out, but sometimes that person's not doing anything. And then But these two people are like actually building up an army, and they're having a really good foundation. Then they realize like these two, they like, it's, to me, it's just a wondering why this person on the right, or not the right, but the two people that are aggroing towards that one person they think is popping off, and they're beating the shit out of them. How do those two people don't realize the power level of each other and forget? And they're just focused on one person, and they're like, wait. You look like you have a lot of shit over there.
Yeah, it's because you haven't.
All right, I'm gonna swing at you. Forget that motherfucker, because we just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Now we got to worry about you, and they don't. They just keep swinging.
Yeah.
And then when that person's finally dead, or that person tried to retaliate in some form of way, that person, one of the two people that get, because they're gonna swing back. I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm dying. I'm gonna fucking do this before I leave. And then they're like, well, why are you doing that? You're gonna make this person a king. I'm like, what? Are you serious? I'm just gonna take an ass whooping and roll over. Yeah. Just like, no, you're going down with me. It's like, we're both dying.
Someone said that they don't like that. Like, oh, I'm leaving the game, so I'm gonna fuck over one person. It's like, that's magic. Like, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad about that stupid ass comment. Like, if I'm dying and you're the reason you're causing me to die,
I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna do what I can before I leave.
Yeah.
Or I'm just gonna do what I want. It's Commander, and everyone gets too mad about what people do. Like, we have a player here who's like, "Why'd you attack me? You should be attacking him." Everyone's open. I want to attack you because I don't like the way your commander works.
So I'm gonna bring our little thing into this. You can't say that comment because you've gotten angry at me for certain things I've done, the way I played, because I wanted to kill your commander, and you were like, "Why are you killing my commander? Why are you doing this?" Or like, and you've done that to maybe 2 or 3 times. Yes. 2 times for sure. I know.
I will.
Third time, and then I'm like, let me play my game.
So. I'll say 2 things with that.
Okay.
Yes, my bad at the same time.
Now there's an excuse.
But hey, no. I want to make it clear. I'm not getting mad that my commander's dead. I just don't understand when I'm like, I literally can cast out again, and there's more threats on worse threats on the table.
But in my head, I don't feel like there's anything else threat.
Yeah, but there has been a few times when I've said that, and then it's bitten all of us at the table in the ass. Instead of like,
I don't know. So no. There was a couple times where there was nothing threat, and those other 2 people weren't doing shit, and then that's when I finally told you. It's like, because I think it was the second time you told me. It was like, I was like, let me just play my fucking game. I just want to play my game. Let me play it the way I want to play it.
Yeah.
And then I was getting rid of your commander, because your commander is actually really fucking good, even though
remember which one it was
the blue-green one. The guy that makes clues.
Oh yeah.
I think that guy's really good.
Yeah, he is.
And that guy's just really, really good. To me, in my head, I was like, well, I can exhaust him. He's 2 mana for 1, which is fucking stupid. Isn't it 2 to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's really fucking dumb. But to me, I'm like, well, I don't really have a true answer for him. I can't stop his commander.
Wasn't it an instant kill spell that you killed it with?
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I think I remember that. I think the reason why I was like kind of upset was I was like, why are you killing it it was like on my turn. And
was it? No, it wasn't on turn. I think it was something that I was on my turn.
All I know is I was tapped out, and you could have done it.
It was on my turn. I think it was something. It was a dreadboard. I think maybe. I think I killed. I'm pretty sure it was on my turn.
Curious, I was like, why didn't you just wait till I cast something?
No, I think it was on my turn. I don't think I could have got rid of it at the because either way. But in my head, when I do something like that, it's only strictly because I was like, well, I can slow him down a little bit. If he wants to do the flavor of his deck, he's gonna have to tap out 1 turn. Give me another fucking turn to draw something, and that's the only thing I really try to get rid of commanders for. There is some validation to. That's why I never path. That's my motto. I never path a commander, because I always realized that kind of dawned on me a while back, and just like, oh, they just ramp out and they play it again. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Never gonna happen again. But the whole thing is like I'll sword to the commander because they don't get an extra land and or some other removal. I don't know, man. I'm on the fence about that. Always killing the commander or not. I think if the converted mana cost is higher than 4 or 4 or higher, always exile
Yeah,
it or kill
well, that's why I was just confused. It's like
if it's too, it's tough. It's tough though. It's like you can't let that guy's different. Like you can't. If you don't have counter spells, then you can't. You can deal with like if you have counter spells, you can deal with that guy. If you don't have counter spells, you really kind of letting the game run away. Because here's the thing: is he's got to come into play triggered ability. If I could prevent that triggered ability to happening, then for sure that guy's worthless.
Yeah,
I don't have to fear that guy.
I would get you killing instantly if it was a cast trigger, but if it's an ETB, you could just respond to me casting something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, the only way I can really stop that guy is from countering your creatures from coming and play. That's it. Guess. Yeah, because, I mean, there's nothing else.
Yeah, I just thought at the table,
unless I had a Hushbringer on board, and like, okay.
I just remember there was one game and we found it funny, both me and you. You kept countering my fucking commander like 2 turns in a row. There was one time I played it, you countered it. And then I played it again because I had enough mana, and you like exiled or something. And then next turn comes, I played it again. I can't remember what commander was, and you countered it again. And then the next player,
I think that was the first time you yelled at me.
And the next player, well, we were laughing about it because I was just
I don't think so.
No, because the next player played something really big.
I was crying. Thanks.
And I was like, "Oh, aren't you glad you tried to get rid of my commander 3 times?" And you're like, "Yep," because it was like something really big that they won the game with.
Oh,
but yes, and the thing is, here's the thing: what's different about certain people, and I guess I'll just say this about me is like, yeah, I owned up to it, and then that's my fucking fault. With that, I was like telling you, like, or I was more asking why, but it was the blatant one where it's just like no one has creatures, and someone attacks someone, and they show that they're getting frustrated. Like, why are you attacking me first? It's like, I don't know. You pick a person to attack. That's what I was saying, because that's a bit different, because I can understand your position. It's a commander, it's interactive, but it's simply just like I have a 2/2 bear attack you, and then they get all upset because like they just decided to attack you.
Yeah, so I think that's a borderline thing. It's like I think it depends on the commander. If you get rid of the commander all the time, like I think that commander is really good by itself because it just gives you a clue. Every fucking dude that comes into play, you could just play. I mean, it's green. You can play a bunch of fucking just weenie like mana dorks and just get clues. You know, like that one and Tigrit, Najila. Those are really good commanders that you like. Oh, I'm gonna fucking counter this, or because you don't. I don't know, man. I think if you those kind of commanders, you keep them at bay. The deck kind of takes a shit.
Well, like especially if it's reliable on its commander.
Yeah,
Lannis and my
like
deck is not reliable.
Like if it's just another creature deck. It's just like a warrior deck. It relies on her to be out, and that's what I'm saying. That when I told Pepsi Jacob, I told him I was like, it's nothing in offense to you. When I'm killing your Najila, she's a mantle. You cannot let her go to your attack step or be on the board.
You said another thing, like the whole offensive thing. It's like,
but no, I get it. But what I'm just trying to say is that my debate about killing commanders.
I absolutely agree with you with that. That like, as in, I don't even think you should say that. Like, I'm not trying to pick on you, but you're.
But here's the thing: is it's just. Some people just get offended. They think you're picking on them.
You're playing a strong card.
But I know. Well,
it's just I just don't like that people don't realize that, you know?
Yeah, I guess, man. I mean...
I'm not saying I don't understand the frustration of like, my shit's constantly getting countered, but like, then stop playing strong shit.
Yeah, I think it's...
Bait out some other shit.
I don't know, man. I think it's got a lot of... Some people, like, it's the biggest thing. It's like, it's me too. I like to play Magic. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's where it goes. No. Hold on about that comment. It goes back to that comment that, I don't know, you or someone else made in the group. It's like, well, where do we stop the line then? What do we keep banning? Well, then everything's a problem in Magic then, because everyone gets pissed about counters. Everyone gets pissed about the Hullbreacher. Everyone gets pissed about all these combos. It's like, then don't play Magic.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Look how many times people, and you know the story.
I don't know.
I like to play Magic, Alex, and then he counters 2 of your spells. You see my point?
Yeah.
People get upset about that shit. That. But you're advocating for no bans.
That was funny.
You're pretty much being hypocritical. If you're going to advocate for no bans, but then sit there and get pissed off when someone wants to build a deck full of fucking counters because it's an open sandbox format, don't play Commander. Commander's not for you then.
Yeah, man, it's just, you got to bring the mentality. So I think the mentality of what the Magic community is, and I think with the band, I think I don't think Wizards had a hand in this, but it's the style. It's the style what's happening right now, in the just the trend of Magic, and that's why I made that comment. It's like the snowflakes won this round. I fucking hate that word. I hate snowflakes. It's just like the most annoying thing. It's like this like stupid, like some bro thought it was the coolest thing to call like people that kind of are offended by certain things, and they're super sensitive about things, and that's fine. You could be super sensitive about things, but you got to know where that frustration and all that anger or whatever you got, the emotions, is going out. Like, where are you spewing it? Are you doing it a healthy way, or are you just being angry at people? But making fun of people for being sensitive and calling them snowflakes, it's very fucking irritating. And it's I don't know, man. But either way, I hate the comment. I use the comment because I think that's what.
Well, it's so talked about mainstream so much.
Yeah,
that's what the go-to thing is.
But I thought I was just trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be offensive. But the thing is just like, that's what's winning now in Magic, and that's crazy to me. That I'm not a fucking. I'm sensitive. I get upset about some things.
That way.
Yeah, and you can get offended, but I think the way you express yourself when you are offended, and not and just in life, in Magic too. But I think the thing is like, so Magic's been banning this. Like, I was like, okay, we're going on a theme of things that are a little bit too hard. People are not having fun. It's too frustrating.
Yeah.
There's not. Let's kind of like coddle them to the fact where they can't find answers.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Oh. Magic's got so many fucking variables and so much interaction. Mm-hmm. It's hard for you to say, like, hey, this card is too fucking strong. It's in 60%. That's even the worst right there. That's the bad thing about if they're going off that.
You mean to ban it on that statistic?
Yeah. If there's like, oh, it's in all these decks. Everybody's running Staple. Here we go back to that argument. Ban Soul Ring. I think Soul Ring is way worse than Hullbreacher. It's annoying. I've seen some shit with Soul Ring that fucking turned the game, and no one can do anything about it. Like, I've seen someone play a turn 2 when their first player, their turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Smothering Tide.
Oh yeah. Oh, here's a
they come back to their turn. Those people couldn't play. Yeah. Because it's their turn. They haven't even played their second land. You got a treasure. You got 3 treasures. You got 3 lands coming in your turn. A Soul Ring.
You already at
That's
7,
8 mana.
Yeah.
8 mana.
Do you remember
on turn 3?
You were in the game. Do you remember that game when I was playing Sakashima and Kodama of the East Tree or whatever, the one that cheats shit in?
Yeah.
I played turn 1 Forest, Soul Ring, and nothing that turn because I don't play Crypt when I can't play it. But then I play another Forest and a Mana Crypt, and I put the tree out. You guys had no answer for it. Come to my turn, I just went fucking ham. Just fucking ham. All because
I was in that game.
You were in that game.
You're a fucking liar.
But I just played clone after clone after clone. Remember, because you were counting with me how many what we can do.
Oh yeah, that
and
guy.
I just had so much shit out, and it was all because of that Soul Ring.
Oh, I'm telling you, Soul Ring is fucking stupid.
Don't get me wrong, Mana Crypt. We said that Mana Crypt's worse because it's 0.
So yeah, those 2 cards, Mana Crypt. That's what I'm saying. If anything to deserve the ban, even Thassa's Oracle. These cards are beyond that. So the power level of these 2 cards, Mana Crypt and Soul Ring and Commander, is stupid because you could do turn 1 with Mana Crypt. If you're running blue, you're like Mana Crypt, Rhystic Study.
Yep,
go.
It's happened.
Everyone's like, oh fuck, we're gonna play this game. It's like, I guess I'll play my turn 1 Soul Ring. You're gonna pay 1 for that? No. It's like, all right, I draw a card. And that's why I felt like these cards are way worse than Hullbreacher, is because Hullbreacher kind of needs another card to interact, right? And even if you didn't have the wheels in the world and you flash in the Hullbreacher, he has to have something else drawing cards for it to be a something. Yeah. So if let's just say there wasn't wheels in Magic and just draws.
Yeah.
He's only going to hit one person that draws.
Yeah.
Unless there's somebody has a Rhystic Study and no one's paying, and then he's getting treasure tokens.
Which that fucking hand job fest has gone on a bunch of times.
And also Rhystic Study says you may.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck that. You're not going to get treasure tokens.
But people have always made that deal. It's like, hey, I'm not going to pay the 1.
No, it was the deal with Smothering Tight and
that one,
Rhystic Study. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So either way, so what I'm trying to say is, here we go again. Cards by themselves and the power level, again, Hullbreacher needs shit.
Yeah.
Soul Ring, Crypt don't need nothing. But guess what? They're gonna fucking bring the party. And then that's what I'm. So those are cards by itself. That's why I said Rhystic Study's worse than fucking Hullbreacher. Soul Ring, Mana Crypt. I'm on the fence with Smothering Tithe being worse than Hullbreacher as a card by itself, because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's why
maybe
I said it's more consistent. It's more consistent of a card.
Yeah.
It doesn't. My main argument with Hullbreacher is that it stops you from doing an inherent thing in Magic.
Yeah.
And people fucking hate that. Smothering Tithe does not. It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You can't. And that's why I hate it with that argument. Some people say it's like it kind of does. No, it does not. Just don't.
It doesn't stop you. You have an option.
Yes. Exactly.
But
that's why I said
But here's the thin line too. So you can argue both sides of it. I know what you're talking about. It's an option. You can decide if to pay it or not. It's not going to stop you from doing anything. But at the same time, it's like, fuck, why does he need all this treasure?
Well, yeah, it's making one person go up while the other people are trailing behind them.
Hullbreacher
lets you go up while staying at the starting line.
That's true.
That's my point.
Yeah, Narset does the same thing, and
but it's a planeswalker and it's not instant.
Yeah,
that's why I don't. If they ever ban Narset, I'm really gonna be like, the shit's hit the fan.
Yeah, that's so my big thing is like when that guy on the group said heading the right direction. That's scary. Yeah. That's scary that he thinks that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing. And I tried to put it on to him. And he was like, why are we, at one point he was like, we're just running around in circles with this. That card is banned. I'm like, you're not understanding how scary that is. So it's, I was like, it's universal. Everyone's on the agreements that we can all say, hey, it's cool for us to follow the ban list for this because this committee is making a good decision for I think that's a good style. Basically, like everybody's on agreements to saying, hey, we should follow this. Can we all follow this ban list? But the thing is, that's a scary thing to have someone outside of your play group, in your casual play, not like this is tabletop, This is nothing. No one should have reign over this. It's just kind of like a universal like rule. It's like, hey, we're gonna follow this one. Are you guys cool to follow this? We can follow this, right? And then it was like, but most people will be like, yeah, blindly going into this fucking ban list. So if everybody's agreeing on this and everybody's comfortable with this, now there's following up with more cards and more cards and more cards.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sit well with me. Like if we're playing in a tournament and they have a set of rules, a set of cards, then I have no dispute against that because that's the rule of the tournament.
Yeah. Well, it's like, how much madness are you going to allow until you slip into chaos? And that's why it's like the rules committee, they're the ones who've made the rules of Commander and put a ban list out, which I think the ban list should be much smaller than it is. I understand certain cards to be banned, such as like Biorhythm and shit like that. But at the same time, I'm like, that's a lot of mana, blah, 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 and stuff like that. If someone has it, shuffle up and play again.
Because, I mean, that's a win card. So if it doesn't matter, if it's a win card, you won.
Exactly.
And that's the game. I mean, how do you want... That's the problem too, right? So we're having them like to decide
it should be a recommended
how you should
list.
win.
Yeah, it should be a recommended list, in my opinion. Like, here's a recommended ban list, and obviously, since we've heard it here, a lot of people play with Emrakul, the Ants Torn, because their play group doesn't give a shit. And I was like, fucking awesome. That's cool. You guys have that healthy discussion because you're like, I want to play with this card, and I hate that one fucking dude or a group of 5 dudes, chicks, whatever, is deciding what I can play in my commander deck. But at the same time, it's like, well, you're playing a game made by these group of people. They put the rules up and everything like that. You're following that, but you're choosing not to following this aspect. That's why there needs to be some order. And I'm not saying a ban list is the right way. I'm just saying in theory, with that, you gotta kind of see both sides of this kind of situation here.
Yeah,
that's why I like with the Hullbreacher ban. I get it, I understand it. A lot of people on Reddit, they're like, it's like what they did with that survey. I either didn't play the card and don't care, or I played the card, it's gone, I don't care, or like good riddance. There's people who are like, I'm glad it's fucking gone.
Yeah,
because I agree, it was a push card, but I don't think it was a bad enough card to where it needs to be banned at all.
See, and here's another thing too. I think another card, that Drowned Magistrate guy, I think he's really strong, and I think he's pretty bad. I think he's Drowner Majesty, 1 white, 1 colorless, and players, your opponents cannot play spells that are not played from their hand.
Oh, the dude from Ikoria.
Yep, Ikoria. Yep, he's at 1/3.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a big butt, mostly blocks a lot of shit. Yeah. But he lets you not play. Your opponents cannot play their commanders.
And that goes to what I was saying, is that, and then you can't do an inherent thing in the game. That's worse, because that's all what Commander's about.
There's actually a lot of combos with that guy.
Yeah.
2-card combos where your opponents can't play spells.
Yeah.
You know, I run it in that stacks deck, that I have, the pig deck.
Yeah.
I just never pulled it off because usually the pig hits the floor and he beats the fucking beats face.
Yeah.
But that's a combo in there, which is ridiculous. I'm just saying, like, that guy's strong as fuck. That guy's really, like, he's worse than Hullbreacher. I don't want to see that motherfucker.
I'm 50-50 on that, because you still can get access to tools to get rid of it. And we go back to that whole thing where not enough people run removal, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, I run Mother of Runes and the other runes, so keep it protected, so you're not playing Magic. Yeah. So
but here's the thing, though, you're trying to protect them among 3 players. That's the thing. I don't think the rules committee takes that to an account.
Put boots on that bitch.
Yeah. I get it. It's a very abrasive card. It goes with what I was saying, how Hullbreacher stops you with stuff. But Hullbreacher has flash. Hullbreacher has to interact with another card.
I mean, that's the flash. But I'm just saying, there's another level of different,
Yeah. And that can spark a whole different debate, because you can talk about the power level and what you could do with it as well. Yeah, turn 2, play it, boom, you guys can't play your commanders, but you still have a full grip to get rid of it. Because I have never seen a Drowned Magistrate sit, except for one game I can recall, longer than maybe 2 turns, and it's just killed.
Yeah, because that bitch is mean.
But when Hullbreacher comes out, typically people have a combo to follow it.
Yeah.
So that's why there's a bit of an argument with it.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that Drowned Magistrate didn't get the ban.
Yeah.
Because so many people, I follow the Reddit community, were bitching about it. instantly.
Yeah, and then I think it's again another thing is how many people play that in our group area over here. Not a lot.
No,
because everybody knows how bad that is. Yeah. It's like nobody wants to do that to somebody, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is like I felt like in our play group, Hullbreacher left that community, and everybody's just kind of like, yeah, because everybody's been on the end of that, and it's like, fuck, man, that card sucks.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna play it because I mean, Pepsi Jacobs a prime example. It's like, I'm gonna get rid of these.
He got rid of them. Yeah.
He's like, I don't like the card. I don't like playing against it. And I don't want to do it to anybody.
I think he like just has one.
Perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes, and that's what I'm saying. I think that was like the big, just because there was a bunch of postings online on, EDH Rec that is like, oh, you want to be the most proficient, most toxic kind of player? Run this card.
Yep.
We want to do the maximize decks out there. And again, are people playing it? And that's where the problem is with this ban, and that they met it in the command zone. They didn't do the research. They didn't go out of these people. They didn't just do all this shit.
They just clicked in their head at one point. They're like, this card's impressive.
Hey, it's like super impressive. Nobody has answers for this at all. There's no free counters or shit like that in the world. We're just gonna let it go. We're just gonna be like, you're too much for us. You're on par with Emrakul, Krakus, all that shit.
This is something this just popped in my head.
Krakus is by far the really fucking bad.
Yeah.
You guys never got the fucking privilege of playing when you're in the world of Emrakul with Krakus on the board.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, I'm gonna take an extra turn, bounce it back, play an extra turn, bounce it back, swing it in, tape. It's just fucking.
You really
stupid.
Want some impressive stuff? Play back in the 2011s.
Well, yeah, when we first started playing, before it was called Commander, right when it was starting to come out to become called Commander, EDH was just
shit was way worse.
And then not even that, Sundering Titan. That's fucking. If people want to talk about like I don't Hullbreacher in that one, I just like fuck which because it's an artifact.
Yeah,
you got fucking metal worker and you just got free mana. It's like, all right, coming in, I'm gonna blink them. I'm gonna blink them.
Mind you, if no one knows, Sun Titan destroys. Each opponent chooses a basic land of among all five.
No. You get to pick.
Or you pick. Yep.
You get to pick one of each
basic
land type
that has. Yep. And it did that when it entered and left the battlefield.
No, I thought it was one. Just I was pretty
enters. Sure I thought it was when it sacrificed too.
I don't know. We're just gonna look.
I gotta look now because I thought that was the biggest bullshit part about it. Nonetheless, you're right. They would blink it.
They would blink the fuck out of it. Dan did it a lot.
Yeah, Dan was
fucking hated it. He was like, "Sweet duels. I'm gonna hit that. What's it say?
Yeah, Leafs play too.
Oof.
Yep.
Wow. So
for 8 mana, and he was a 7/10. And when you played artifact mainly shit, like what you were saying with Metalworker, you didn't give a fuck.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. I mean, look, you could just Transmuter. That's what the combo was. Transmuter. That's what it was. Tron. Transmuter and him.
That's when Tinker was legal too. And fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Because Tinker was legal when Blightsteel came out. When Blightsteel came out, shortly after that, that's when they banned Tinker.
Oh yeah.
So what I was gonna say, real quick, back to what Dylan was in here showing us that if you guys think a ban list and shit or anything like this is bad, the store that he was talking about has their own Commander rules list.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And like you couldn't play almost certain
Dylan.
Yeah.
Military Dylan.
Yeah. Which he's not in the military anymore.
Dylan.
But anyone, if you see Dylan here, I'm not saying nothing bad about him, but people know him as Chew Dylan because he's the one who chews, here. Yeah. But talk to him, ask him about it. He took a screenshot of what this store has. That has a whole website listing of what you can and can't do in Commander. And if you violate it, they'll give a warning and then ask for you to leave, which is just utterly. I was gonna say that's where Commander could lead to.
That's fucking neo-Nazi, man.
If these bans, in my opinion, keep happening because everyone's just trying to pander to everyone and their feelings about it,
Soft as fuck.
Which we're not saying you can't have feelings while playing Commander stuff. It's just you nail on the head. It's like it's how you execute those feelings and how you feel about stuff. And here's a perfect example about what you said about how discussions are really good. We were sitting down in a game. Justin, known for hating Hullbreacher, hates it. He hates it because he hates the whole combos, the lockout to Fairy's puzzles and stuff like that. I was playing my flash deck. I flashed in Hullbreacher. The look on his face was priceless because I could see like he doesn't like it. But he goes, "Do you have the Teferi puzzle stuff and all that shit?" I said, "No, it's simply in here because it's a good flash card." And he goes, "Okay, I'll allow it." And when he said that, I assumed he had a counter or something like that because I just did that to dick over someone with one draw. Mm-hmm. But then, like, me being in the game, we're in the game, it's not even starting. I told him, I don't run that shit. I don't like that shit, so I don't run that shit. I don't like it being done. And he just was like, okay, cool. Hullbreacher can be on the board. He could do something about it. Obviously, he didn't have probably no draw in his hand, and so he didn't care. But look how that open communication just solved that issue right there.
Yeah. And then again, you just play in your groups of people. I'm not telling you to isolate yourself to data expand into different groups, but the same communication would have prevent this card from being banned.
Yeah.
And any future card getting banned, it could prevent that. And I think that's the most important thing. And I don't like that the committee went on the whim and just did this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. You know, it's cool that they can ban that, but again, Mana Crypt's still cool. Soul Ring's gonna be cool.
I just still go back to the fastest Oracle combo. That's just
I don't like it. I don't care about it. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me.
My point is, I think it's worse than Hullbreacher. About what you're saying, there's worse.
It's a three mana combo, which is.
I don't think it should be banned. Let's get that clear.
It could do a turn one.
Absolutely.
You could do a turn one combo.
Yeah, because it wins the game right away.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is too. It's just like you should be ecstatic to win or lose that way. Like that's a good way to win. It's a sweet death. No one. You also got to realize that you got to put your emotions on pause because you're not winning. The game doesn't resolve like this game of winning with Commander casual play, and someone does that and be like, and you could easily just say, hey, we don't kind of play that in this group area, and that person gets offended. That's on them, and you could just easily explain to them, it's like, we just got offended because you did that combo on us, and it's like we're just here to kind of play for fun.
We got offended.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell them that.
And that's your fault.
Yeah, no, just say it. I mean, it's just like, if you expect something, it's like, hey, we're all kind of just casually playing, and somebody does that, and you just want to play a long, exciting, fun game, and then someone wins it up. I think it's on both parties to decide, like, to one, you shouldn't get offended. You could scoop and just, but it's like, hey, you could simply just tell them, it's like, hey, we don't play that. We're trying to play a casual, fun game.
Well, at the same time, it's like if you go play backyard football and your dad's Joe Montana, and like you're like, oh, we want to just play as nice casual. Okay, well, my dad wants to play. Is it cool? Yeah, bring him out. Oh yeah, he's fucking Joe Montana. Yeah, he's gonna be dinging these fucking balls downfield, and you guys are gonna have a chance. Yeah. So you're the asshole for bringing that. In this situation, your deck that's overpowered to a game that's supposed to be casual, and that part you are the asshole.
It's that's true, and it should be. I don't know. Maybe it should be announced. It's like, hey, I do run this combo. Everybody cool?
I think it's perfectly fine.
And that's the problem. The problem, everybody's trying to be too fucking sneaky.
I mean, Will that's true. Will plays
like, I'm slithering my way in here.
What's his name? Lord Windgrace. And we're like, oh shit, it's a Windgrace. What's in it? And he was open. He's like, I run like Jackal Hops and a few things, but it's not that bad. And never once has he casted Jackal Hops when I've played him against that. But I think that's perfect. Like, ask open questions. If the guy doesn't want to tell you, I guess kind of respect it, but at the same time, it's kind of douchey. But just have conversations.
Yeah. I tell people I play Child.
Well, you don't know, right?
Huh?
I thought you took that deck apart.
Oh, I didn't. I just put them away in a very dark place.
Well, see,
like the Steely deck, I put that away, and I put the Chilean deck because people complained.
No, see, even
and
that
then
part.
No. Shh.
No, I just don't think people should complain about it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everyone has their theme. Everyone has their thing they want to do.
It's not like I just put it away. I mean, I'll play with them. I actually brought them today. I was like, maybe I'll play. I think you should. I brought the Steely deck. Because when I get my ass stomped, stomped out. And I didn't give a shit because I knew I was playing something stupid. Especially, like, that's the funny thing is, like, always when I was playing Sin Triplets, everybody would try to get rid of her. And I'm like, you do know I don't ever play my commander. Like, I'll play it once in a while, but it's the other shit that's in this deck that's fucking you got to worry about. Yeah. Because the deck is just call it stealing deck. I'm going to steal your shit. And I tell every time, I'm like, I'm going to play Sin Triplets. This deck is only as good as your deck. So remember that. So if you want to beat me down, play with this most janky ass shit you got. Yeah. So like play an all spells deck. If all three of them play a nothing but a spells deck, like basically just like instants and sorceries, and you're copying shit, I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, because I need permanence, and that's how I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
With your shit, I'm just going in your deck, stealing your stuff. Like, he's got a nice permanent, blah. It's like, that's a sweet enchantment. That's a sweet artifact. Stuff like that. But people don't get it. I just don't get it. But whatever. And then Child, I really love that deck. I'm so happy I made that a long time ago. And just kind of, because I think not Justin, West made a good comment about it, and it kind of made me feel good. He was like, I've never came across a tribal destroy deck. I was like, yeah, man, it's kind of fun. Nothing's on the board.
I used to be that type of person where I'm like, oh, cool, you're just going to keep destroying. But like, I go into there, I'm like, that's what the deck does. I expect it.
Yeah, the deck just literally blows up everything.
So I try not to overcommit sometimes. And because I remember a game. I was like, I swan song Justin's combo, but then you were playing Child. And I was like, fuck. I knew I should have waited for this swan song for the red one that gets rid of all the stuff. Not Jackal Hops, but something else.
Oh, Devastation?
Yeah, but it's one of those ones that can be countered, and I just that's my fault. See, because I knew what deck you were playing, I knew what is in it, and I swan song one of his combos. But then I was like, nope, I should have waited. I should have fucking waited for this fucking dick with his land destruction.
Because all I need is typically just like a couple planeswalkers out, and I just run like the old destroying stuff that just literally kills nothing but non-planeswalkers.
Yeah.
So it's just like, Pernicious Deed, prime example.
Yep.
It destroys artifacts, enchantments, creatures, and doesn't say planeswalkers. So I'm like, all right, let's deed for what a lot. Yeah, so.
This podcast is brought to you by the Rules Committee.
Bitches. Oh, man, that's just such a weird thing. I just don't. I'm okay. Like I said, I'm still on. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that Hullbreacher, like I even told that guy in the group, I was like, I don't care that Hullbreacher got banned. It doesn't affect me one bit. It only affected like one deck, and that was the Flash deck. And I only ran it because it was a Flash creature.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any wheels in the deck. It just like, and I run the agent in there too. Mm-hmm. Didn't really do nothing. Just it's a Flash creature,
yep.
But either way, so no, just like I didn't give a shit. Hullbreacher, was in there. Sucks that I had a foil one. Yeah. That was the only Hullbreacher I had. Yeah. It was a foil one. I was like, oh man, no, it's junk. Get it out of here, paperweight. But either way, I mean, I think most people that still like in their little small groups are still probably gonna play it.
Yeah,
it's but whatever.
All right, and with that, we gotta open this bitch up. So real quick, because this will go up today. Adventures in the Forgotten Realms pre-release will be happening today, Friday, at 6:30. Two-headed giant. Entry fee is $30 for each person. We're gonna have giveaways, promo packs, top 4 placement, could be even higher. Everyone is guaranteed a pack tonight. When we do two-headed giant, every person is guaranteed a pack, but then we do a top 4 payout. Tomorrow, Saturday, we have an event at 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. Those are sealed, just the classic sealed that you know and love for pre-release. And then Sunday, we have another one at 12:30 as well, which I think actually might kick off because I've had some people ask about the Sunday piece. So I just wanted to plug that because I know people would listen to this before the evening tonight. And the last thing I want to say is that Wicked 3D Creations guy we talked about in the last podcast, he came in and brought some figures in that are that he designed that you can't really find anywhere unless you ask a 3D printer to print them. So they're on display. If you guys ever want to come out, he printed a big old Tarrasque figure, which is really cool, which I know you can't find anywhere. But we're just trying to help the guy out, show that he's trying to get into the business of doing 3D printing for any games you like and love. So come to the shop and check it out, and we got his business cards if you guys are interested. But other than that, thanks for listening, and you guys take care.